It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for one of these days. I will be ready on time.
I mean, what was it? Was it last week that I wasn't here?
Yeah, you weren't here last week.
So, you get a pass. You get a pass.
Greg Cherry, Maddie Laws, joining you as usual. And happy birthday, Josh. I know you're not here watching the episode because you have a meeting, but this episode is for you, brother. I will try to refrain from Brown slander for the day.
Oh, no, I'm not going to.
Okay, well, if you're not going to, and the fandom that he has of you, then okay, then I guess I was offering something nice as a division rival to try, but if we're raising money for him, then fuck him.
With the NFL recognizing like everything pre-Super Bowl era stat-wise, you know what? These Browns fans can enjoy their 8 recognized NFL championships that were already recognized.
Yeah,
as NFL championships.
Here's the thing: it was posted yesterday, so I still don't know if it's a valid thing.
But it was posted on the NFL.com website.
I understand that, but like you would,
they wouldn't do that shit. I don't think.
I mean, if it's still there, then here's the thing: like they haven't acknowledged it for so long. To make that announcement on April Fool's Day, a day notorious for false news stories,
I can see how that would be very, misleading, specifically on April Fools. But I don't think that they would post it to the main NFL.com website. And I swear to God, if it is an April Fool's prank, that's all the more hilarious.
Let's see. I mean, the article is still up. So
the NFL has acknowledged the AFL records and stats, which some of those games got to be like Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Like, there's got to be no footage of a lot of that shit, right?
Well, probably not. I mean, you figure a lot of that stuff happened before, like, motion pictures were more commonly used, I guess I should say. I don't want to say it was before they existed.
Motion broadcasting.
Yeah. Like television broadcasting didn't happen until the 50s. So,
yeah.
But then again, we count baseball records and we count, like, college football national championships from before that time.
But you have to also have to remember that the MLB just recently acknowledged the damn Negro League stats.
Yeah, that was just last year, I think.
Last year or the year before. It's literally last couple of years. But yeah.
Which, I mean, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Like, I have zero issue with that.
Like I said in our group chat, these are things that should have been fucking acknowledged decades ago. The AFL stats, the Negro League stats. Didn't the MLB acknowledge another affiliate league stats recently too?
Maybe.
And I think the NBA has acknowledged the ABA for a long period of time.
I mean, it's one of those things where either you decide that you'll acknowledge the history or you just want to be your own entity. As far as I'm concerned, the Steelers still have more championships than the Browns. Like, I have witnessed 2 Super Bowl championships in my lifetime. And the Browns haven't experienced any since, 60s?
Yeah, I was about to say it's literally been 60 years.
Yeah.
But, NFL is acknowledging the AFL stats. Congratulations on those NFL championship games. Did the Broncos have any? Does that mean that the Broncos have more titles?
See, here's the thing. I don't think it affects the Steelers at all.
I don't, because you guys weren't AFL. You guys were NFL from the start, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will look up the wiki, and we all know how reliable Wikipedia is for that kind of stuff. So now that they just stated that they added the AAFC championship game, so the All-American Football Conference. I think it was just those. I don't think it was anything before that. So the Steelers might still have more championships than Cleveland. I don't think they went all the way back. But I don't know. I feel like I need somebody who's more in tune with football than I am, and I'm pretty in tune with football.
I'm pretty in tune with football as well, but I need to actually sit down and read this article top to bottom.
I need someone to explain it to me like I'm 5, like Michael Scott in The Office. So let's see. So the Cleveland Browns would have won the freaking. Okay, so the Browns would have had 4 NFL championships, and since they counted the AAFC, that gives them 8, I guess.
So they do have more titles, technically.
I think it's.
Well,
I mean, that's the only team that
Rodgers go tell Rodgers to go out there and win you guys your next one.
Yeah.
I'm so confused as to why that hasn't been confirmed yet.
So here's the thing. Like, the Browns don't have the most, if we're talking about specifically NFL championships. The Packers have the most by far.
Oh, I was about to say, didn't they have an entire decade before the NFL counted Super Bowls?
Yeah, and the Broncos only have their 3. So there was no championships before that.
Man, actually, why do the Colorado teams always take so goddamn long to win titles?
Hey, listen, at least you've gotten to witness you got to witness the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup. You got to witness the Nuggets win the NBA championship.
The only Nuggets championship they've ever won.
Well, listen, it happened in your lifetime. Do you know how many Chicago Cubs fans lived and died without seeing their team win a damn thing?
Oh, dude.
It's over a century.
Yeah, I saw grown adults, grandparents, crying during that Chicago Cubs World Series win.
I mean, you can ask Jeff. Jeff is a big LA Kings fan, and he, before 2012, I believe, never
had a massive drought, didn't they?
I don't know if they had ever won one until 2012. I might be incorrect. My hockey knowledge is not where my wrestling knowledge is, but it's one of those things that, when you see your team win a championship, it's like when Notre Dame eventually wins a national championship. And man, it ripped my heart out that they didn't this year. But I've seen my Steelers win 2. I've seen my Yankees win 5 or 6. I've seen the Penguins win 3. I know they won a couple in the 90s, but I wasn't watching hockey then. So
I can almost guarantee you the Rockies might not win one in our lifetime.
Wasn't it the Rockies who had an incredible run to the World Series, and then
2007, and they ended up playing the Red Sox and got swept.
Yeah.
Right. As a dual fan of the Rockies and the
Red Sox, I know you're right.
I was like, ooh, this is fun, and then I saw the Rockies get obliterated in 4 games.
I mean, at least the Yankees didn't get swept this past season. Like, they won one. I was like, okay, well, cool. We didn't get swept.
The Yankees and Red Sox really did own the 2010s.
Here's the thing. Like, the Yankees' last World Championship was 2009. So...
yeah, you closed out that decade.
We did. I mean, we also kicked it off, really. We won in 2000. But yeah, it's been a drought for Yankees fans. Like, seeing the World Series was actually kind of nice.
Wait, it's been since 09? I thought you guys won like in 2012 or some shit like that.
No. But trust me, I would remember if the Yankees had made the World Series in 2012, which I think this last World Series was the first one they've been in probably since 2009. I don't think they've been back. Damn,
if only they got rid of that hair policy. Maybe these guys would play better.
Well, I mean, they can have beards now. Like, that was announced in the offseason.
Oh, really? Like, yeah. How big a beard?
Probably like at least a trimmed
probably
one.
Like, trimmed beard.
You're not going to get like freaking
Charlie Blackman.
I was going to say ZZ Top, but because my references are dated, but it's fine. Anyway, we are trying to raise money for Josh because
it's his birthday.
It is his birthday, and I said I would do some stuff on the wheel. So if you guys send money to that link, if you send money to his stuff and screenshot it, if you super chat $10, spin the wheel. I'll do something fun. You won't get the super chat money because that takes forever to get the YouTube conglomerate. But so we'll try it.
We're trying.
I know this show has gone significantly down as far as like donations and stuff, but it is what it is. We still put on a show. We still try to entertain you. We still try to give you information. There will be no Greg Cherry show next week.
Okay.
Because I am going to be in the Steel City at Pat McAfee's show.
Oh, you got tickets to it?
I got a ticket to it. Yes, I'm going by myself. Yeah, I'm going by myself.
You got a ticket to it. That's the important thing, man.
Listen, there's been a lot of talk that the Pat McAfee show in Pittsburgh is going to be where Aaron Rodgers announces that he's going to the Steelers. And I was like, I feel like the writing's on the wall there. Like, I feel like it's going to get such a mixed response because some people are like, man, you drug it along this long and just now, like right before the draft. I feel like a lot of people are going to be annoyed about it.
Dude, he did this the last time he was a free agent. Like, it's at this point, we expected this. But I don't think we expected it to go this long. I mean, what? We've got 4 months before the Hall of Fame game?
Yeah.
The draft is literally in like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, draft is coming up.
So, like, yeah, the fact that Rodgers dragged it out this fucking long that's the main issue. I want to know what your genuine reaction is going to be if he does announce that.
We may. It really
depends. Your quarterback.
I mean, right now our main quarterback is Mason Rudolph, but it may be one of those things where we do a Greg Cherry show on Thursday next week, simply because
you need to talk about it.
I do, and also if something happens at the McAfee show, like I want to be able to give a live account because I'm going to be there. So I fully expect it. Like I've been predicting it for a couple of weeks now. It's like Rodgers is really good friends with McAfee. The show's going to be in Pittsburgh. The Steelers are probably his only option of playing. In the NFL this year.
Yeah, both of the Steelers quarterbacks went to both of the New York teams, and they were expecting Rodgers to go to the Giants. So that leaves you as really the only viable option for Rodgers.
Yep. What's up, Zach? Zach is saying, gentlemen, so good to see you. Good to see you as well. At this point, I'd rather see Joe Flacco over Aaron Rodgers. I think it would just be completely wild if Joe Flacco was in a Pittsburgh uniform.
What? Oh, dude. I feel like that would be sickening. I mean, it was already sickening to see him in a Browns uniform.
I mean, he was in a Ravens uniform, so he's like jumping around all the AFC North teams. Like, I know he was in Indy for a little bit too, but like still.
And like he wore the Broncos colors for a little bit.
I didn't even realize Flacco played for the Broncos.
Like, oh yeah.
Was he like a bench player? Like I have zero memory of that.
Yeah, he was a bench player if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, the quarterback battle was him and Drew Lock. And a young Drew Lock beat him out in camp, I think. But Joe Flacco did take some snaps as a Bronco. I think he wore number 4. It was weird.
I legit have no memory of that. Listen, I've seen a few Steelers quarterbacks. Like I remember Duck Hodges taking snaps for the Steelers as the starting quarterback because Ben Roethlisberger was out for the year. It was such a wild time.
I had to watch a practice squad wide receiver take starting quarterback snaps.
Dude, you guys, I wish you would have been part of the show in 2020 because I ranted about the NFL's treatment of the Broncos having to start a backup and them delaying the Baltimore Ravens game until like they had enough people.
Well, was that the game that got delayed till a Wednesday, or was that the Tuesday?
No, that was a Wednesday. Like this show was on in the afternoon. The game happened after this show. Like it was the dumbest thing. I ranted on that for weeks because that was a game Bud Dupree got hurt. He was out for the season, and then the Steelers' defense just completely got obliterated. I don't know what it was that Bud Dupree was like the glue holding it together. But after that,
that was before TJ Watt, right? Or no, you guys had TJ.
No, TJ
was
there. TJ's been there for 7-8 years.
Yeah, I guess he has. Damn.
But
that was without a doubt one of the worst football seasons I've ever watched. And that was me trying to get back into watching football. Like I took a hiatus from watching because my team was so bad for so long after the Super Bowl.
Dude, that was a season the Browns almost made the AFC Championship. You're not kidding.
Was that Baker Mayfield's insane season?
Kansas City.
Yeah, that was Baker Mayfield's insane season, wasn't it?
Yeah, like they almost beat a Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs.
It totally would have been the COVID season to send the Browns to the Super Bowl.
Dude, I would have lost my mind. I never hear the end of it. Like it's bad enough that Browns fans are still lauding over their playoff victory that year over the Steelers. Like if they would have made the Super Bowl, like granted, Kansas City got destroyed by Tampa Bay, so they probably would have been too. But them making the Super Bowl.
There was some Brady magic in that game.
There was, but I mean, Tampa Bay, I think overall just it was kind of reminiscent of the Chiefs-Eagles game this year. The Chiefs were just completely outmatched.
Yeah. Football season's going to get real weird going forward. Like going into the actual season, it's going to be so weird.
It is. Zach's asking, what's the best coaching tree in the NFL? In my opinion, it's got to be Sean Payton. In my opinion, it never will be Mike Tomlin. Oh my God.
It's not Tomlin. It's definitely not Belichick.
Well, Belichick's not in the NFL anymore.
No, but he was saying coaching tree, wasn't he? Like,
well, I'm guessing current day.
I want to say, would it be McVay? Did Shanahan or McVay come from each other's system?
Uh,
I think one of them came from each other's system.
yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to argue against teams like the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Yeah, Sirianni's. No, yeah.
But
Andy
here's the thing:
Reid.
Sirianni got so much shit like all year. You think people are gonna lay off him now that he won the Super Bowl?
Well, I was about to say the whole thing was people were saying that the Eagles couldn't do it whenever they got there. They hadn't did it. They hadn't done it since Nick Foles was there, and they'd gotten
It
so
wasn't even
close.
that long ago.
That's the hilarious thing. Those Philly fans are fucking vile.
Like that was in the last what?
At least the Bills fans have never won anything. They've got the right to be that toxic. The Philly fans did not have the right to be that toxic with Sirianni. It was Super Bowl, good season, good season, good season, but no Super Bowls. And the fans wanted him dead.
I'm gonna tell you, it's never happened in NFL history. No team has ever three-peated. So
I think it might be impossible in the NFL. It might be impossible to three-peat in the NFL.
I don't think it's impossible because the Chiefs obviously got close. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to win it once. So to talk about winning it 3 straight years, like you've got to have everybody locked in from day one.
But you also have to make sure that you draft well. You have to make sure that you have a good young core that you've got together on the same contracts with the same, mindset going forward. And that's the difficult thing. Because after every Super Bowl win, you always lose key pieces. With the Eagles, you just saw Josh Sweat, who had, I think, 3 sacks in the Super Bowl. He's now gone. Darius Slay and Bradbury, both of those guys are gone. Like
Darius Slay's a Steeler now.
Yeah, after you win a Super Bowl, you lose pieces. After the Chiefs won their Super Bowls, Tyreek Hill left because they couldn't afford him. And that was one of Mahomes' biggest targets.
Did I see Tyreek Hill's gone to the Packers? Did I see that right?
Let me effort this.
That may have just been a TikTok search, but I could have sworn.
Dude, do you have any idea how crazy that would be to give Jordan Love Tyreek Hill?
Okay, I think it was just a fake thing. So
okay,
I
Fool's
see
Day was
nothing
yesterday.
about it. Yeah, so
no, but think about that. Giving Jordan Love Tyreek Hill. I mean, it would be if. Yeah, the Dolphins are trading Tyreek Hill to the Chargers is one that I saw.
okay.
Yeah, no Tyreek to the Packers. That would have made the NFC North so much more interesting.
I mean, it definitely would have. I feel like the NFC North feels like a powerhouse anyway, besides Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And like the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings, just battling it out.
The thing with the Packers is they need people for Love to throw to. That's why when you said Tyreek Hill to the Packers, I didn't question it. That's a move they need to make is a explosive wide receiver.
But again, the draft is in a few weeks. There could be some massive trades still happening. That the trades and all that in free agency.
The Packers have such a middle of the run pick this year, though, that I don't know if they can move up. Like, who could they package and put with their first round pick to move up? I don't see Tucker Kraft, maybe.
Here's my thing. I feel like trying to draft up and give up draft capital and perhaps players, I think is a little bit of an overrated move because if you put so much stock into trading up for somebody and they don't work out, you screwed yourselves not only in the present but in the long run by making that move. So for me, if I was a GM, I would probably pass on doing that. I would play with the cards I'm dealt. Unless there was an offer that I absolutely could not refuse. So it's just my opinion. I would probably just play with the cards I'm dealt, go with the draft capital that I have, and go from there.
Because, I mean, luckily with the wide receiver spot, that's not a pick that you see always go in the top 10. Like, you will see an explosive wide receiver one go in the top 10. We saw it with Malik Neighbors. We saw it with Odell Beckham. But
the thing is, where is Travis Hunter going to land? Is he going to land on the offensive side or defensive side of the ball?
Who's drafting him is the question.
I understand the freak athlete that he is. I don't think in the NFL he's going to be able to keep up with both sides of the ball.
All right,
I'm surprised he was able to do it in college. Like, I know players do that in high school all the time just to try and, like, show their versatility. The fact that he did it in college was impressive. If he pulls it off in the NFL and, like, saves a roster spot, that would be also impressive. I don't know if, with as intense as the NFL is, if he can do it. I might be wrong. It's not a knock on Travis Hunter whatsoever. But I feel like it's just too much to ask, and he's going to drain himself. I worry about him, like, having such a short career, putting that much time onto both sides of the ball.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's going to depend on where he lands. I don't see him getting outside of the top 5 picks.
Probably not.
Pick number 1 is Tennessee. I can almost guaranteed see Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders going there. They need a quarterback. Cam Ward has been almost pinpointed to go to Tennessee. And then we've got Cleveland. They need a quarterback. So Shedeur Sanders, maybe Jalen Milroe, depending on how they look at what they want at quarterback.
I watched some mock drafts, and people were saying Jalen Monroe was going to fall a decent bit into the first round. Like, there was somebody who had Pittsburgh drafting him.
He doesn't. If Jalen Milroe falls out of the first round,
it wouldn't fall out of the first round. It was still a first round pick.
Like going deep into the first round, because like if it goes to Pittsburgh, that means he's going after Denver's pick, which is 20. But if he falls down that far, it's going to be baffling because Jalen Milroe is a freak athlete. Pick number 3 is the Giants. This is a very easy pick to potentially have him land because they do need help in the secondary.
Yeah.
They could use a wide receiver, but they did just get Malik Neighbors last year.
Yeah, I was going to say they have Malik.
So if they draft him, I can see them basically only using him at corner or like secondary. Pick number 4, however, if he falls to them, is the only team I see playing him on both sides. If he falls to the New England Patriots, I do see them playing him at wide receiver and at cornerback because they need both. You can put him in at like a slot or like a dime corner, and then you can have him in as whatever wide receiver you need. They just got Stephon Diggs, so you're not going to be putting the whole load onto Travis Hunter.
It might be a situation where they don't play him every down, but maybe they have him in specific packages. Like, if it's that kind of thing where he's sporadic on both sides of the ball, fine. But he shouldn't be first stringer on both sides of the ball.
No,
I
don't
feel
see
like
that at all.
If he's got a ridiculous tank, that's one thing. But you're going to exhaust him to the point where he might be a 3 or 4 year player in the league if you push him that far. Like if you rein him back a little and you like keep his conditioning up to be a star player at a single position, then he might be a future Hall of Famer. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because on the defensive side, he's got upside like Patrick Surtain does. On the offensive side, I think he's a much better corner than he is a wide receiver. And he's an insane wide receiver.
Yeah.
But I think his best value is at corner. And that's where I think pick number 5 would put him, which is Jacksonville. I think Jacksonville would have him on the defensive side as well. So
I feel like Jacksonville needs all the help they can get.
They might put him at quarterback if he can throw the damn thing. But I don't see him leaving the top 5 picks. And of those teams, I can see 2 potentially playing him on both sides. But one of them, I can almost guarantee you, would play him on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got pick number 21. You need to either look at another offensive line bolster or you guys just got DK Metcalf, so maybe a secondary?
I feel like the secondary needs a lot of help. But I've also been like screaming into the void that the offensive line needs help. And at this point, it doesn't even matter who is in the backfield. It doesn't matter who's throwing the ball if nobody can freaking block for him. So,
which is crazy because you guys had Najee Harris, who was basically forcing himself towards a 1,000-yard season last year.
And he got them. He still got them. Imagine if he had blocks to break his way through. He might have 15 2,000-yard seasons. Like I don't know, but if you have no way to get the pass game open, then it doesn't matter. Like I don't know. It's just me.
And if you guys are getting Aaron Rodgers, you know for a damn fact he's going to want offensive line. It's you guys need offensive line. It's crazy because you guys have drafted offensive line throughout the last couple of years. Broderick Jones has shown that he's a damn good left tackle. He just holds a little too much.
Yeah.
But all in all, he doesn't let that blind side get hit all too often.
I'm still baffled that Tennessee paid Dan Moore Jr. $80 million for 4 years. I don't know what tape they were watching, but good on you, Tennessee.
You took that on the chin and you were like, you know what? Good on you.
I saw that. I was like, does that say $80 million for 4 years for Dan Moore? Okay.
Have him.
It's like, you got to have him for 8. Like, I don't know. I
don't know what tape you were watching.
That's exactly it. Like, were you watching Madden? I don't know. Even then, I don't think the tape would be that good.
It depends. You bump up them stats ratings, he becomes one of the best of all time.
I guess.
Oh, Lord. Well, we spent the first 30 minutes talking about football. Do you want to get into the WrestleMania build, which they hit fucking Nitro on Monday?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am so glad that they are using blood as a storyline thing and not just like a weekly thing. Oh,
yeah. And it worked perfectly in that segment, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
I've watched Gunther for like a decade now.
Yeah.
Like on the indies and everything. I have never seen him do shit like that character-wise in a story. That was insane on his part. And I'm so glad that he can play that type of a psychotic role.
I feel like the Jay Gunther story needed that. Because it was kind of a low-level build, but that just turned up the intensity and like made the world title match more important.
It actually made the match feel like it matters.
Yes. It doesn't feel like we went from feeling like, man, I wouldn't even put this on the pre-show to now it's like, now I want to see Jay kick Gunther's ass. Well done, WWE. Good job.
And in a way, you know, people could complain. They're like, oh, now they're rushing it. There's a difference between rushing a storyline and doing something that's so on a dime pivotal that it makes a storyline. And we've had since the Royal Rumble for them to build this up, and not until April 1st did we, or not April 1st, March 31st, did we get something like this for that story. And like you said, the blood totally helped it. Gunther rubbing Jimmy's blood all over him, beating the absolute hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy made that entire segment.
Yeah. My concern, like, I'm glad the Cody Rhodes John Cena segment happened too. I think that was one of their better ones in the last 3 weeks. But there's talks that John Cena won't appear again until WrestleMania, which is like, that's your main event. And he's not going to be at Raw the next couple weeks.
Yeah, that'd be the next 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And I do have one gripe with that segment as a whole as well. Okay. It was a damn good segment. Both men really told a fantastic story in the ring. You know, I'm sorry, John, you're still my hero, but you're also a piece of shit was really good, well delivered. But John Cena doing the same thing that he has seen people do to him for the last 22 years was one of the most baffling things storyline-wise they could have done. You'd think John Cena's too smart to do that dumb shit.
I don't want to say that John is phoning it in as a heel. Because, again, it's been, what, a month?
About a month. Count in the fact that he wasn't on TV for the first fucking 3 weeks after the turn.
Yeah. Which, again, that was bad. Like,
there's a lot to this specific story that doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. But I kind of hope that, regardless of the result at WrestleMania, I hope the heel run of Cena continues, because I wanted to have like that Hollywood Rock type of heel run, like in 2003, where it was only a couple months, but he packed so much into that 2 months that years later we're still talking about it.
We saw a side of Rock at that point that we had never gotten. Yeah, we had the This Is Your Life segment back in the 90s, but Hollywood Rock gave us the fucking Rock concert.
Yeah.
He was giving us a type of heel that was egotistical, charismatic. It was still, you know, The Rock, but just a dick.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what Cena needs to do here.
It is what Cena needs to do.
And I do agree. It does need to go long term. My other co-host, Shug, he said what he wants is for Cena to win at Mania and then just go all the way and retire on top and just retire as a heel and never do like an interview, anything again. Just be a dick. the rest of his on-screen life.
I mean, that could possibly work. I'm interested because I don't feel like even if he wins that he's going to do the whole I'm just going to retire with the championship, blah, 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 blah. Like they're gonna figure out something for him to do.
Oh yeah, he's going out on his shield. He's going to put someone over. I do want him to win at Mania. I'm saying that right now. I want John Cena to win at Mania, get that 17. But I want him to put someone new over.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want it to be Cody. I don't want him to lose it to Randy. I don't want it to be a Sammy or a KO. Make it someone new, someone young that they can build on. Hell, you've got time between now and, the supposed end of Cena's run.
Yeah.
You can make it Braun Breaker.
If that's the direction they go. Braun Breaker's a weird case though, because he still feels like a tweener.
He does.
So I would be fine with that, but I feel like Braun Breaker's going to be somebody who wins the Royal Rumble to get a title shot.
I want him to win the Rumble next year. I know it's way too far out, but he could totally be the one to make a new eliminations record. What, that would require him to eliminate fucking 15 people?
14, but yeah.
14, okay.
So
I thought the record was 14.
No, the record's 13, shared by Braun Strowman and the Greatest Royal Rumble. Yes, it counts.
Oh, it does count.
The Greatest Royal Rumble stats. The Greatest Royal Rumble happened. It counts. Everybody's saying, oh, well, he's been champion for 7 years and never defended it. Blah, 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 blah. That's very tongue-in-cheek because they've never done another Greatest Royal Rumble. They should, though. You know what? They should.
We need another 50-man Rumble.
I know they're doing the 2026 Rumble in Saudi. I know they're doing that, okay? But I don't know.
The world needs another 50-man Royal Rumble. Like a 50-man traditional Royal Rumble. And fuck it. Same show. Give us a 50-woman Royal Rumble because we also have the TNA talent to pump that matchup too.
I mean, you really do. You really have I wouldn't do the 50-man or 50-woman in Saudi though. I think
not in Saudi.
I've said this before. If I was running a show, I would want to have. If I had my druthers and could do a Forbidden Door show for any company in the world, I would have it be a 2-night thing. I would do all women the first night, all men the second night. I would have both shows main evented by 50-man and 50-woman Rumble matches. So that way you would get, you would have your singles matches, you could have championship matches earlier in the night, fine, whatever. But you would have the 50 best women in the world competing in the Royal Rumble. And on the opposite day, you'd have 50 of the best men in the world. Can you imagine you start out the Royal Rumble, number 1, Seth Rollins, number 2, Will Ospreay?
And literally have them go the entire length of a normal Royal Rumble. Go all through 30 entrants and then have them get eliminated.
Yep.
Yeah, I've always said, since they've done the Greatest Royal Rumble, I don't know why people shit on it other than the fact that it was in Saudi Arabia. I thought that whole event was fun.
It's probably because the Rumble match itself, if you watch my list, it's on YouTube and it's currently uploading on TikTok. So follow me one of the places. Funny story, Zelina Vega now follows me on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you, Thea. I rank the Greatest Royal Rumble pretty low because as a match idea, it's fun. Quality of the match, not so much.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot of not so good, but there was a lot of fun and enjoyable. So, is that true
Is what true?
that Mr. Miro Rusev has re-signed with the WWE?
According to PW Insider, yes. Like that was posted earlier today. So and it's been reported a couple other places. I have not seen Sean talk about it, but I haven't been on Twitter much today.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw on Twitter earlier today. Someone posted a picture and was like, "How can you fumble this man?" Posting Rusev, and I forgot to post it. But in my head, I was like, "Well, two companies have done it now, so."
Well, I guess we'll see how Rusev fares in
Triple H's
WWE. I hope that he brings back Rusev Day again.
Because that was so fun. I still have the shirt, so I don't even have to buy a new one.
Like the reaction that he got at the 2018 Rumble, the entire crowd just chanting Rusev Day. That got over like gangbusters.
Dude, he was over for so long.
Yeah.
For so long.
And then
he should have had at least one world title under his belt.
They turned him heel shortly after the 2019 Rumble, and that was it.
Him and Aiden English just became a tag team, didn't they?
Well, like they were a tag team, and then they because it got so over, Rusev turned babyface.
That's right, and we got the stupid ass. Yep, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
One night in Wisconsin or one night in Milwaukee, whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, that thing. Josh McGuire is asking who's the Steelers going to draft in the first round. Could be Jackson Dart. Like, I've heard that too.
Could be Jackson Dart. I don't...
let me tell you what. If it doesn't happen, like if next Wednesday when I'm at the McAfee thing, Aaron Rodgers doesn't announce that he's going to be a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, then I'm going to say it's not happening. I can't imagine.
I would hate, as a friend of yours, to have you watch a season of NFL football where Mason Rudolph is attempting to get the ball downfield to DK Metcalf.
I have more faith in Mason Rudolph than I do in Aaron Rodgers. I watched those season and 4 plays in New York. And maybe it was just the Jets defense. Maybe I am underselling Aaron Rodgers, but
we can't say it was the Jets O-line because that Jets offensive line was
I was going to blame the Jets
before Rodgers got there.
I was
Jets defense.
I don't know though. Listen, if Aaron Rodgers takes us to championship number 7, I'll shut up.
God, that would be the weirdest. Aaron Rodgers wearing black and gold, winning a Super Bowl for Pittsburgh.
And the only Super Bowl he won was against Pittsburgh. So
that's weird.
Yeah.
How weird would it be if it was Pittsburgh versus Green Bay and he beats Jordan Love?
and Aaron Rodgers just wins both of them, yeah.
That's weird. I might look in to see what the betting odds are on that.
I mean, they can't be high. That's like Peyton Manning beating the Colts in the Super Bowl. Well, he couldn't have because it was with the Broncos, so that wouldn't have mattered. That would have been like Brady beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
With the Bucks.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
It would have been.
But
it would have been kind of entertaining.
But we learned that Bill Belichick couldn't coach a team unless his quarterback was Tom Brady.
Pretty much. I mean, he was coach for the Browns. He was coach for the Patriots after Brady left. And His record wasn't good. We'll see how he does at North Carolina if that's still happening. I haven't seen one way or the other.
I mean, I know he signed a contract and he's been there for some kids signing their recruitments and shit. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be there. I mean, what? Spring football starts here in a month or so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna promote this now before I forget, because I will definitely forget. Friday over on JJ's channel, Shenanigans. That's Tiffany Nieves. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm terrible with names in wrestling, but she's a part of the NWA right now. She obviously has some championship success. She's going to be joining the crew on Friday, and you can see there's a time change on that. It's 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. It's not a nighttime show. Shenanigans are happening. Show. Yeah, that's an afternoon show. So go check that out. That's this Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, over on JJ's channel. He might simulcast it here. I don't know. But go check that out. It's cool whenever we get people to be on the show.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm hoping, whenever I start work again, I would love to do another jote and bring somebody else on the fold. Because it's been almost a year since we did the last Jack of All Trades with Maven.
Dude, has it really?
It was in June of last year.
God, time flies by, and it's not even been fun this year.
You are not kidding. 2025 has been a rough one so far. Hopefully it'll get better. Hopefully the first quarter of the month quarter of the year was just for everybody. And then after that, it's, I guess, as smooth a sailing as possible.
Here's hoping, man. So you know what? Before we even talk about Dynamite or anything, where is the venue that you're going to be for the McAfee show?
PPG Paints.
Where's that?
The hockey arena. PPG Paints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't bother. Like, it's a bigger venue than the Dynamite shows that I've been going to. Like, so it's going to be good being in PPG Paints again.
And you said it's sold out, right?
Or
is that just scalpers?
It's probably scalpers, honestly. But like when I went to get tickets, I obviously waited until after all the tickets were actually sold, so I could get a decent deal. And like I got higher up seats because, again, not working at the moment. Finances are a bitch, but I wanted to get there. So I got decent seats. Like I'm in the higher up level. I'm probably about where I was for the Rumble a few years ago. We're pretty close, I think. Yeah, it should be a good show.
Oh yeah, it looks like whenever he does those live shows, the energy is so much different than whenever it's just them in the studio.
Yeah.
So, dude, when are you going again?
It's next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, okay.
Yep. So, if there is a Greg Cherry show next week, it will be on not Wednesday. So maybe next Thursday. I don't know. We will see. Really depends on a number of factors. Josh, I'm sorry, bud. We wanted to raise money for you for your birthday, but I blame Elon Musk, honestly.
I mean, it's a good time to blame him.
Twitter has become so useless, and I'm not paying for it. I'm just not. What I should have done was broadcast it on Jeff's channel, like Jeff's Twitter. If I would have thought about it, but I straight up didn't.
And we can't really promote through Facebook all that much.
I mean, it's streaming on Facebook right now, and yeah, JJ, I managed to get that in right before. I wanted to plug it before the end of the show because if I wait till the end of the show, I would have forgot. But yeah, that's the guest on Friday. I've heard the name before. Like I've
her name's been going around the circuit for a minute now.
Because I think she had a dark match, or she had a match in AEW or something.
I'm pretty sure it was either AEW dark match or Elevation.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they should bring those shows back.
I don't mind them having the YouTube shows. Because, I mean, Ring of Honor is basically AEW dark now. Sad as it is.
Yeah, but they could at least put it on YouTube if they're going to make it AEW dark.
Yeah. I don't know why they paywall the Ring of Honor TV episodes. Like why would you not just like put the pay-per-views on Honor Club and, like you said, put the Ring of Honor weekly TV on YouTube?
Because it's not like they're doing any damn promotion for for it at all anyway.
You would probably get more viewers on YouTube because nobody's going to pay, what is it, $10 a month for weekly TV where none of the champions get featured.
Yeah. Yeah, because Chris Jericho's on fucking Dynamite or Rampage.
Well,
Rampage Collision.
Collision, yeah. I don't know. Just thoughts. Anyway, I'm going to cut it short a little bit. Next Wednesday, reminder, again, no Greg Cherry Show next Wednesday because I will be in the Steel City. Hopefully have some good stories to tell about the Pat McAfee show. But yeah, we're going to have some fun.
That should be a whole hell of a lot of fun for you, man.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping this month is a very positive month for this guy right here. But
here's
again,
hoping, man.
We will see. 2025 feels like it's been almost as long as 2020 so far. But that is it for today. Thank you very much for joining us on the Greg Cherry Show. Follow me on Twitter at Greg Cherry Brand, because that's where you'll find out if there is an episode next week. Because quite frankly, I don't know yet. Just being honest.
It's all depending. It's all depending on what happens next Wednesday.
I will tell you this. I feel like this show, despite the lack of professionalism, is the most straightforward and honest show that you will ever find on YouTube.
We definitely don't bullshit.
We don't bullshit. And why would we? Like, what good does it do for us to bullshit anybody watching out there? What good does it to be inauthentic? The entire reason this show started was for me to be authentically me. I'm not hiding who I am. I'm not hiding anything about me. I am straightforward and honest. And if you don't like it, suck it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, pretty much.
But until the next episode of the Greg Cherry Show, thank you very much for joining. Don't be a jag. And we'll see you next time on the Greg Cherry Show.
Which will be hopefully sometime next week.
Yeah, maybe.